Sounds real.
Sounds real.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Jack.
And on today's listening table, actually streaming table,
Streaming table today.
we have the Alt Sui Sound. Hope I'm saying that
Yes.
right. I think I'm saying that right.
Yeah, the Alt Sui Sound. Sui Sound.
Yes. And personally reached out to us. Really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And said, yeah, we'll put it on the show.
Yeah,
I did not know what to expect.
No, we did not.
The name of the album is called 1999, and it sounds like 1999. It's earlier.
It sounds earlier, actually.
But we'll get into that. What do you think?
Okay, so I had the pleasure of revisiting it again this morning, and my first take on it, which was kind of the same take that you're gonna have, was that there was a lot of Goblin influence. There's that Tangerine Dream style of stuff that was going on. There's that element of dark synth or dark wave, but it's not as apparent. Actually, listen to it again. My whole take, this sounded like a soundtrack.
Yes.
This is like an old school album. I don't know if it's a concept album, because it does kind of have a feel of a concept album where everything's kind of connected, and there's in between songs there's little interludes of spoken, like not a spoken word, or these little bits and pieces throughout the album. And the more I listen
like
to
sound bites.
Yeah, like sound bites. There you go. It really reminds me of a soundtrack. Every song was put in place to have an experience. This is not a singles album, where you're gonna put on like an album and just pick and choose certain songs.
No, from beginning to end.
This is a beginning to end album, so you got to have a little bit of patience. For me personally, I think a lot of people don't have that to listen through an album in its entirety. However, to get the feeling of the album, to immerse yourself in the sound of what he's doing, you have to really listen to from beginning to end. And it's kind of like the old Pink Floyd albums. Even though some were concepts and some were not, whatever the case may be, they had a starting point and an ending point. And this album is definitely like that. A lot of Goblin influence, I heard. And I don't know if he's influenced by Goblin or not, but I could hear that. I could hear those that kind of 80s, kind of 70s type of stuff that they were doing for those soundtracks. There's a few songs that do have singing, but a lot of the album is instrumental. The majority of the album is instrumental, to be honest with you. But I really dig what he's doing. He's also utilizing newer beats, even like kind of hip hop beats and stuff like that, kind of trip hop or whatever, mixing it up.
Has a modern touch.
It has a modern touch to it, yes. I could hear the John Carpenter, some of those early John Carpenter soundtracks were had kind of that a little more of a rock beat to it, maybe. And Tangerine Dream, we had that feel, that dark synth type of vibe. Totally dig this stuff. Totally dig it. So I don't know if he's performing anywhere, but I would love to see that live. I think that would come alive. What's your take?
Well, like you said, it was just took me back, right away I was thinking of the 70s, late 70s, early 80s movies that came out from Italy. A lot of the zombie movies that came out in later period, and just like you said, a lot of Goblin influence, a lot of Claudio Simonetti, who did a lot of the zombie part, Zombie 4, Zombie 5, and all those. And I dug it. It just, and like you said, it's an album you have to hear from beginning to end in order to appreciate the whole experience.
Yes, very immersive.
And it reminded me of even some of the newer groups like Zombie.
What Zombie they're doing does that.
Zombie, right. And I kind of noticed, like I heard some of the other stuff that he does, and it's kind of different from what this album is. So I like what he's doing. I like where it's going, and it does remind me of Zombie, because Zombie, their albums are all different. They're all over the place, and I like it's kind of like the same concept. You don't want to pigeonhole yourself onto one kind of genre, but you still keep it in that broad spectrum
Yeah.
of music. And I really dug what the album sounded like. My only gripe, and this is my only gripe, unfortunately, I would love to hear this like on a CD or an album, vinyl,
Yes. Yes.
because streaming you have those breaks, and it kind of throws you off a little bit because you're like, oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, the
Well,
breaks in between where it refreshes and it goes into the next song.
you know, I was listening on Spotify, and Spotify played it pretty smooth. So
Okay, see, we heard it on first. We heard it on
on app
YouTube.
on
No,
YouTube,
YouTube,
yeah, it
yeah.
was on
So
YouTube. Yeah, so I found it on Spotify because I know it's there. I don't know. Obviously, Apple has it.
no, I didn't find it on Apple.
Okay, well, it is definitely on Spotify because I streamed it today. So it's a smooth play.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
it's a smooth
I
play,
gotta I gotta
and
revisit.
that's why it kind of has this continuous, uh, like kind of like a concept album.
Right,
It's kind
it's
of
a flow.
yeah. There's a flow to it. You know, there's some certain songs that do stop and end, but there's still a flow
Right.
to it. So yeah, we were listening to it on
Okay,
YouTube.
okay.
So
I need to revisit it.
and stream it
Yeah, stream it again.
properly. But yeah, you're definitely right. I would love to have this on physical media. I would, yeah, that would be fantastic.
Vinyl.
Yeah, and I think the sound obviously would be so superior as well.
So yeah,
Oh yeah, vinyl would be cool.
really well done. Really like what's going on in this album particularly. Definitely want to venture out into some of the other albums. I know some of the other albums on Apple and Spotify, and subscribe as well too. He has the own channel,
Yeah, and he has
the
his
Alt Sui Sound,
Instagram. You can find him under that name at Instagram and follow him, and hopefully, yeah, we could hear more stuff
and
from him.
keep us abreast. And when the next show, I mean, if you do live
If you
stuff, we
do something,
definitely want
yeah,
to be there and cover
we'll
that.
be there
Big
definitely.
fans of that. I love that stuff.
Yeah, we get lost in that too.
So thumbs up,
Oh, big time.
thumbs up, thumbs up. So sounds real,
Sounds real.
and we're out.